Hey guys, welcome to Flat Top King. We just did a pizza supreme chicken. We did it two ways. You guys can pick out which one you like. If you guys want to see how we do it, here we go. Get asked all the time, how do you stay so thin? I don't really think I'm that thin, but if you guys look at the original videos, definitely lost a couple lbs over the last few years, and I've fought like hell to keep it off. This is one of the ways we do it. I think it's unique, it's different. The kids actually are starting to enjoy it a little bit more. At first, they kind of like thumb their nose up to it. Thumb their nose up to it? Is that right?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, you guys understand. But it's just a way to get a little bit more protein in them without them really fighting you over it. When I say this, health for each person, individual person, that's up to you guys, right? We do it because of low carb factor, but it doesn't reduce the amount of flavor that it has, okay? The idea is chicken pizza, and that's literally what it is. Chicken breast, just from the grocery store. We use this as crust. We're not going to overthink it today. I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but this is the way that I've been doing it. So the family would order pizza, and for me not to eat like a whole pizza or a half a pizza with all the dough, I'll say, hey, I'll make chicken pizza, and this is what we got. The standard style chicken breast. I've patted it out before, like pounded it out, and honestly, I think it's just easier sometimes just to cut it. And you're just looking for, I don't know, that's pretty close right there.
Yeah, that's pretty even. Already.
Man, that's pretty even right there. So let's do this. Let's work with what we got here. Obviously, it still needs to cook even on the griddle, but we're just going to make a pocket and just open it up just a little bit like that. As ugly as this looks, it will not matter. Trust me. There's your dough right there. Do one more, I'll show you. See how fatter that is? A lot more narrow. So we might actually just cut that one in half, which is typically what I do. Okay, just like that. Alrighty, our chicken's ready. Basically, this is just our vegetables that we decided to use: banana peppers, mushrooms, onions, and bell peppers. This is one of those dishes where you could definitely load up on vegetables, obviously, if we're going the healthy route. But we're not going to sacrifice flavor, that's for sure. So it's not a recipe, it's more it is just an idea. And this is how I do it. Small grate, fresh Parmesan cheese. No rhyme or reason. I'm just going to look into coat basically 2 chicken breasts. We're going to save the girls for later. My wife thinks that it's just as good if we do one completely on the griddle. What I want to do is do one on the griddle and then finish in the oven. I think it's a perfect way that you can use your outdoor pizza ovens if you guys have them. Turn them on while you're using the griddle. Finish these off in the oven. I think they're fantastic. But she said, no, let's just do it on the griddle. And I said, well, all right, I'm gonna do mine in the oven. I brought out one cast iron. She goes, where's my cast iron? I said, I'm doing yours on the griddle like you said. And she said, no, I want mine in the oven. So we'll see. So we got the Parmesan cheese there. I'm gonna lightly dust it, or just throw some flour in there. It's not gonna matter. Give that a mix. Just kind of eyeball in here. A little Italian seasoning. A little oomph of flavor. That's kind of like our dredge right there, okay? Chicken. Inside of it, really press that cheese inside. This is gonna be your crust. And if you guys have followed me in the past, you guys know sometimes we do like a Parmesan crust on stuff, or we've done Parmesan naked and made crisps out of them. I think it really just helps the texture. Some freshly grated mozzarella cheese. Have a little Italian sausage out of the casing. Start griddling that up. Once the fat starts releasing, we'll put the vegetables in all that sausage fat. Start working a few pepperonis, since this is going to be the griddle side. We're just looking to knock off that raw stage, because remember, this is what I don't like about pizza on the griddle to begin with. There's not a lot of top heat, okay? So you're gonna have to cook the vegetables, cook the proteins a little bit, just be able to get that quote unquote texture that you remember, right? The pepperonis need to be cooked a little bit. If you throw it in the oven at the very last second, like I want to, it helps brown up the cheese, and you get a lot of top end heat, which helps make the dish, I think. So we're gonna cook hers down just a little bit. Add a little oil down for a shallow fry. We just did this about a week ago for the lemon pepper chicken. You guys seem to like that really well, so kind of like the same philosophy when it comes to shallow fry. My grease puddle's down there, so I'm just going to bring it back up to the forefront, let it just naturally drain back. Look at that Parmesan crisp right there. I know what you're thinking. Hear me out, right? I know it's fried chicken. I know I have oil. I know I have a little bit of flour, but to me, it's still way healthier than eating a large pizza. I know it's not perfect, but I'm just saying. All right, so really, it's not a rhyme or reason for here. So we always try to preach juicy chicken. The easiest way to have juicy chicken is not overcook your chicken, okay? If you want to keep her on the griddle, like I'm going to do my wife's, then you got to pay attention to the temperatures. Same thing about this one going in the oven. If you already have your chicken at, like, let's say 160 or 165 right now, and then you add all the toppings, and then you want a sauce, dome, melts, and all that stuff, I think you've already overshot your temperatures. I'm just giving you a ballpark. There's no science behind it. I'm going to say about 140 to 145. If it's in the oven, you can always cook it just a little bit longer, right? You're not worried about damaging or overcooking the outside. Everything's just going to cook a little bit longer, like your vegetables, your cheese, your sauce, and I don't think you're going to mess up anything. The griddle is probably a little bit tougher because you have that direct heat directly on the griddle, so just words of wisdom. As you can imagine, I'll get the bigger portion. That chicken breast goes right inside there. My wife's will move to this is just low. And then as you can imagine, we're just going to build it the same way you would build a pizza. Or chicken parmesan. Sauce, cheese. Nice pile of those vegetables. Pepperoni. We'll dome that and let all those ingredients come together. Somebody told me they live in Manhattan, New York, and said that they hear more fire trucks and ambulances and police on my channel than they do where they live. And I was like, great. And obviously you can make it whichever way you want to. Typically when we do this, you know, we just like to pile on everything because this is my dish. So I don't want to like cheat so much in my mind that I feel like I'm losing out when the kids have pizza. So this kind of just hits home to me. Like by the time you have all the ingredients in the sauce, I'm gonna throw this in the oven really quick. I mean, not as bad as I was expecting. It looks dang good. It almost reminds you of that. Oh, look at that mushroom. Holy smokes. That. Oh, I love that. It reminds me of that Alice Springs chicken where you just take the chicken breast and then obviously you can add up to it. Or the loaded chicken breast skewers. What is that? Chicken bacon ranch?
Yeah.
Just let you know that stuff's hot when it comes off the griddle. All right, as you can tell, you know, the pepperoni is a little bit softer. This is more moisture. This dried out a little bit more because it was in the oven. So.
You eating mine?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Better in the oven.
I wouldn't say it's better. Doing the two dishes side by side, I think you're probably able to get a little bit more ingredients in the chicken because the dish holds more ingredients versus the chicken and then mounding it up. I think with those flavors, you're going to get pretty much the same thing. I do like to dried out pepperonis and stuff a little bit more. Sometimes we put it on sheet trays and throw it in the oven. So it's really just depends on like how you want to do it. People ask all the time, like, what do you really eat when you're not filming? Between two channels, we film 4 to 6 times a week. And it's extremely hard to do that. So I'm very cautious about what I eat through the week. And to me, this is guiltless. Like, so the kids can have their pizza, or sometimes they choose this, and I like it when they do it because I feel better as a parent knowing that I enjoy it and they enjoy it, and it just works. So if you guys are interested, hit that join button down below. It's a membership program. We thank each and every one of you for taking time for doing so. Check us out on the Griddle Group on Facebook. We talk about griddles, talk about food all the time because that's what it's about. A griddle channel, a smoking channel. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Ciao, Tom.
Dinner time.